Hi, I'm Nick Appleyard, CEO of TriStar Gold. We're a single asset developer with the Castelo de Sonhos project in Pará state, Brazil. And I'm here at Beaver Creek with Matt.
You are? Hello. Good to see you.
Yeah, it's good
actually,
to see
it's probably about the fourth time we've seen each other, actually, because wandering around.
Wandering around,
yeah.
but this is the first time we've sat down together.
A lot of people out there. You having good meetings?
Absolutely, yeah. This is this one and one of those shows in Zurich, I think, for me, are the best ones of the year.
Right, okay. We are going to talk paramount, we're going to talk licensing, we're going to talk some other issues around that, but first of all, we're going to work out what we're fighting for, okay?
Yeah.
So can you talk, looking at the last economic studies, can you remind us the numbers, please?
Yeah, so Castelo de Sonhos, we've got 1.4 million ounces of reserves in the probable category. Generating economics that we've only done published at $3,200 gold. I think it was $1.4 billion MPV post-tax.
Yeah.
So it's a sensational project.
Yeah.
All the infrastructure it needs, right near a road. It's a mine waiting to be built, really.
And relatively simple processing, and the margins look good.
Simplest processing you're ever going to see. Absolutely, it's sand and gold, nothing else.
Right. Okay. We better talk about what everyone else is talking about, which has been a bit of a roadblock put in front of you. Interested in like how you get after that and how you can sort of change your own fortunes.
Yeah, absolutely. So the public prosecutors issued a recommendation to suspend our permits just over a year ago now.
Based on what?
Based on they want us to do more Indigenous consultation, Indigenous impacts studies,
right?
And but the Indigenous groups that they're referring to, or any Indigenous groups, are a long way from us, and we have no impact on them. So it sort of puts us in a difficult situation. We can't do an impacts analysis if there's no impact.
Right, but at the same time, you've got to work with these people, right? So
you do, but you've got to be very careful because it's a one-way street. You know, if you start something now, it's more next year, more the year after. So, you know, you do want to stand up for your rights as well.
So how do you go about establishing the remit and the boundaries of any study now or into the future before you start allocating capital to something like that? Are you in discussion? Let's start with that.
Well, the situation has escalated. So we presented a defence to the situation, as did the state regulators.
Who to?
To the public prosecutor.
Okay.
And the state's environmental agency's defence was very strong, saying this company's done everything right, they're a long way from any impact, so there's no need to do this. We hoped that would finish it, but then in August this year, the public prosecutor filed a civil lawsuit against the state environmental agency and against us, claiming that for me, it's a little bit crazy. It's claiming that we have contaminated rivers in the whole region. Right. When all we've done is drilled some holes and explored, so we've done no mining.
Right.
But they don't seem to differentiate us from informal miners. And they have a claim that based on holistic dreams and things like that.
Sorry, what?
Based on dreams, the dreams of some of the Indigenous groups, that they believe in the region where we are, because they're a long way away from us. Their ancestors were in this region, and that's what it's based. I mean, it sounds like I'm joking, but
it does. Are there any other examples of this type of evidence?
I think that type of evidence is there in other projects, but it's usually, or more frequently, supported by some hard evidence.
Right.
So the good thing, if you want to say, or the silver lining in what's happened now with the lawsuit. Prior to that, everything was in the hands of the public prosecutor, and our life was sort of dictated by them. Now it's under a judge and a court and a process, and it's defined by facts. So the dream doesn't matter. We've done, with the best consultants we could find, detailed archaeological studies, and we found relics from different groups and stuff, as you would expect. We have plans for them properly. There's no cemetery, there's no graveyards or anything like that.
So I never thought I'd be asking these questions. In a mining context, and I don't mean to ridicule anyone at all, because different people behave different ways, think different things. It's all kind of good. Who's having these dreams?
It's someone within the Indigenous community. I don't know.
Who are 100 kilometres away?
I believe they are further than that.
Okay.
So that is about the basis of it. So they don't know where they are. They just say in that region somewhere.
Right. Okay. I don't understand the kind of workings of this, and I say I'm not here to ridicule or judge, but someone's going to have to judge this. Does this kind of move into the land of non-dreams and into some sort of judicial process, which cannot be then countered? I mean, how do you move this forward?
Yes. So now it's under a judge, and also, the federal agency that takes care of all Indigenous matters, called FUNAI. They're also involved, and again, we've met with them. We've established a really good relationship with them, and they're obviously out to protect the rights of Indigenous groups. But they're very, very clear. It's all fact and data-based,
evidential.
Yeah.
Okay. I think Sarabi went through something similar, and the process seemed quite logical. As well, but the painful thing is it does delay things. Same prosecutor, right? Yeah. Is the same prosecutor involved?
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay, cool. Okay, so but now there's a process which is clear and understood. You do understand the boundaries, and you do understand the law and the remit. Can that be challenged further down the line if a decision is made for you?
Yes. So where we see it going now, what we've been advised by the court is that defences are expected to be filed by mid-October. It'll take them 2 or 3 months to review all that data, because it's a lot of data they'll be getting. So we expect to hear from the judge early next year. And there is possibility or allowance for an appeal on whatever decision the judge makes.
Yeah.
Which I'm told would take another 3 months if it happens.
Yeah.
And at that point we would have pretty good clarity as to either we're going down a bad road or things are looking really good. And obviously we believe we'll be on that good road, because all the facts and the data are very, very clear to us.
Right. So where does it stop?
It'll never stop. I mean, I could almost guarantee that this will be a great mine, as I said, making $1.4 billion in the future. But I'm sure until the day you close, someone will be dealing with issues like this. But if there'll be a thorn in your side, rather than an axe over your head, so to speak.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, I think they're always going to be seeking something. I don't believe the Indigenous groups. My own belief, and it's not fact-based, is that the Indigenous groups get manipulated by a lot of people, who are after money.
Right.
So that's what's happening. So they don't really differentiate between Vale with a massive iron ore mine in Pará, or TriStar trying to develop a gold mine, and which is still a couple of years away from production.
Right.
They just go, there's another mining company, let's get the same as we were getting from the other ones.
Right. Right. Okay. So I really want to exhaust this. So we dealt with. Well, we understand the dream part of the argument. You also mentioned maybe ancestral burial grounds. Is that what you're referring to?
No, the dream is the...
Oh, that is the part of the dream.
Yes,
okay.
There's no physical evidence for them, but they've said we believe.
So there's no physical evidence. Gotcha, 100%. Okay,
and they don't know the location of them either. It's just in this general region, they claim.
Right. Okay, so let's not be too disparaging about how it's come about or what rationale there was for that, but let's talk about the legal and judicial process. There is mining law in the state and at federal state, and FUNAI will come in and also be part of that adjudication process. For me as an investor though, you're sitting there at what, market cap 55, 60?
55, something like that.
Right, okay. And being kind of, I guess, trading down off the back of this, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And you're saying in terms of this could never end, but when you mean that, you don't mean it's terminal. You mean as in there being varying degrees of objections coming through, but at some point the
project will move forward.
It will move forward. Okay,
absolutely.
So I want to be clear with that.
And sorry, and there'll always be asks from community and Indigenous groups, but it'll be minor.
So what are you doing on the local community? Like people within a reasonable district?
Yes,
they're supportive. You've got programs going.
We're building schools. We're working with the community. We supply employment.
Gotcha.
We're doing a lot of work with them, and that's part of the problem. Is if we start paying someone who's 100 kilometres away, a higher amount than we're paying someone who's 5 kilometres away, we're going to cause resentment within the locals.
Gotcha.
The easy way I think of this, Matt, is that I think for about $1.5 million, we can get clarity on this issue, we can get our construction license, and right now this issue is probably knocking $100 million off our market cap.
Right.
It's knocking it down by 60%.
Okay.
So we can unlock that.
Okay, and I'll maybe come back to the investor thing. What else are you doing in terms of advancing the project?
So due to the really good relationships we have right now, we've decided that we're going to power forward and get our construction permit. So the project is then ready.
And you're not being
ready.
stopped from doing that? From
Not at all.
Right.
We have not been stopped from doing anything.
Right, so you're working with who on that?
That will be through SEMAS, through the State Environmental Agency.
Right, so no problem with those relationships. No. Are they helping you in any other way? I mean, are they aware of what you're going through? What do they think of that?
They're being sued as well.
So they're being sued as well, right, okay. And you're working together in terms of this defense? Right,
yes.
okay.
And that's why we have that great relationship, so it's like, well, let's take advantage of that and get our construction permit while we've got such good access to their leadership in that.
Okay, so their view is this thing should be mined as a benefit to the state if it gets into production in terms of the usual job, taxes and all those derivatives.
They're tired of every permit they issue getting challenged as well.
Right.
So
okay, understood. So in terms of me as an investor, I'm looking in. I'm not going to bet my house on this, but it might be worth a few shekels. If the upside is, I guess the talk on this is ridiculous if you can get this through. That's what he's telling me?
Well, everyone I speak to, when I speak to people in Brazil, I speak to peer companies or our attorneys or my staff or people in Brazil, they're not as stressed by this. They go, this is Brazil, this is life, you get through it. It's frustrating, but it's life as it is. So you will get through it and move forward.
Okay.
From us outside who are not used to it, it's scary and it stresses me out a lot. But I speak to my lawyers, no,
right.
This will go forward. Don't worry about it,
Right.
So yes.
But I don't think that's an investing strategy. I just want to know that you've got the money to kind of get through the process.
Yep.
And there'll be a decision in some way, and it may be challenged again. But
well, if you win this, it takes the wind out of their sail to do anything else. I mean, because it's all in the public record. No, SEMAS have done this study. Funai, the indigenous, have said this. They got less and less sort of straws to clutch at.
Okay.
So their case gets weaker and weaker, and anything they try and do gets weaker and weaker.
Right. Okay. So, what else can you do? I mean, do you sit and say, do you know what? This may take a while, or not. Mm-hmm. I need to do something else. Kind of get the story. The company you're talking about going here. Do I need to look further afield and maybe look at other projects that we can start on? But obviously that will involve raising more money and it may distract you and all of those sorts of things. But are you at that stage, or do you think this is the best use of your time?
The way I see it very simply is, we've been through this for the last year now. Mm-hmm. We believe we'll have clarity within 6 months. Mm-hmm. And if that can unlock all of this value, which is suppressing our share price now, we can't do better than that, because that'll be a multiple on the share price. It won't be a percentage gain; it'll be a multiple rise. But our business model has had us looking at other stuff all the time. But it's not. Yeah, it's nothing. We're not really.
Pick your horse.
Because we don't want to get in a situation where, we're pushed to raise money, and before we would like to,
Okay.
because right now we have enough money to get through this easily.
So what's your argument then for investors? You say, look, you could argue on one hand, like there's more easy place to be had, or you could argue actually the talk on this thing's crazy if it comes off. So if you need to be a little bit risk averse in a scenario like this, but it may pay off.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, these same prosecutors, the same regulators have dealt with all the mines in Pará, and they all advance, and they all, you mentioned one of the companies earlier, they have their, stuff as well, but they've been doing really, really well.
Yeah,
we'll be in the same situation, and there'll be headaches. It's part of operating in Brazil these days. I think you deal with it, you keep moving forward, and that's the way it is. I think it's a strange concept for us outside of Brazil, but that is the way it is there. So. So as an investor, I see that the timing is the thing. It'll come, but it's not going to be, weeks. It's going to be quarters or 6 months, 12 months time.
Okay, say you get through this process, or even if you don't, do you think there's like someone else will come in and say, like, I'll assume that risk myself, or you dealt with that, now I'm interested in the scale and size of this project, because so remind what were the kind of production values?
We start for the first 7 years, 150,000 ounces a year, and then it drops to average 120,000 over 11
So
years.
it's a significant project with a decent life of mine, and I note from the numbers a very decent margin as well. So it's an attractive asset.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
And it's getting a lot of attention.
Right.
But I find the same thing as with the investors. Companies that are operating in Brazil are very interested in talking to me. The focus of my meetings here has been with peer companies. But if I speak to a company who's used to operating in Canada or Australia or Africa, they're like, okay,
I don't understand.
It's too much to learn Brazil and this issue. So, but the companies in Brazil are all very keen to chat to us,
Brilliant. Well, look, Nick, good to see you, man.
Yeah,
very good.
Thanks
and,
a lot.
Good luck with the rest of your meetings. This week. And are you trotting back to Brazil anytime soon?
In probably 3 weeks' time, I'll be down there.
Fantastic. Well, keep us up to date.
Yep, we'll do for sure.
Thank you.